Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan selamat datang ke Pustakaan Negeri Sarawak hari ini 10 hari bulan Oktober 2021. Nama kami Abang Daizulizam bin Haji Abang Sari. Kawan-kawan boleh manggil kami Abang Joe. Okey, kami adalah wakil daripada Miri Gunpla Group dan Miri Hobby and Collectors Miri. Okey, hari tu kita ada topik special khas untuk adik-adik. Okey, adik-adik di sana yang sekarang berada di rumah, yang ada di rumah kerana kita tu musim COVID. Okey, dah kita dah mau 2 tahun kita tu hidup dengan COVID. Okey, and then kita diberikan perkara yang perlu dibuat untuk menjaga kesihatan kita, bukan untuk adik-adik saja, untuk mak bapak dan kita sekeluarga. Okey, topik kami hari itu adalah hobbies dan aktivitis yang kita boleh buat semasa mengalami COVID-19. Okey, yang penting pertamanya adalah kita perlu menjaga penjarakan sosial dan menjaga kebersihan diri dan cuba mengelakkan area yang berkemungkinan kalau bolehlah adik-adik cuba elakkan pergi ke area yang mempunyai kepadatan manusia yang lebih. Okay, kita ingin mengamalkan penjarakan sosial. Jadi adik-adik silalah jaga kebersihan, dengarlah cakap ibu bapa. Okay, listen to your parents and hopefully kita akan bebas pada COVID-19 suatu hari nanti dengan bantuan kerajaan dan bantuan ibu bapa, keluarga dan manusia sekeliling lah. Okey. Hari tu kami mula video. This video is khas untuk Hari Kanak-Kanak Sarawak. Okey, Sarawak Children's Day yang diadakan pada 30 Oktober 2021 pada hujung bulan tu. Okey, 30th October 2021, end of this month. Okay, this is for children, untuk adik-adik, untuk anak-anak di seluruh Sarawak. Okay, ia akan di-launch, akan di-start pada 29 Oktober dulu di Kuching dulu. Okay, di Kuching, Pustakaan Negeri Sarawak Kuching. Kemudian kita di situ, okay, 30 hari bulan kelak di situ di Pustakaan Negeri Sarawak Miri dan di bandar-bandar yang seterusnya. Okey, adik-adik, kami akan siapkan cakap panjang lah. Memang tu khas untuk adik-adik. Kami akan kelakar dengan adik-adik apa yang kita boleh buat kalau kita boring di rumah. Abang, uncle faham? Abang ke uncle? Ya kan? Okey, abang ke uncle. Kami suka ditunggah abang, okey. Siklah satu lagi lah. Okey, adik-adik, abang akan tolong padahlah pandangan kita apa yang kita boleh buat, what you can do at home kalau kita dapat keluar dari rumah kerana lockdown ke atau area kita dah masuk ke zon kuning atau zon merah. Harap-harap tak orang dipermudahkan segalanya lah. Kalau kita orang dalam zon tak ya, tapi dalam area zon hijau kita masih perlu mengamalkan, ya adik-adik, perlu masih mengamalkan penjarakan sosial. Okey, paling bagus dalam 1,5 meter. Alright, paling rapat pun lah semeter. Jangan rapat gila, kita mesti, tapi dengan family, dengan mak bapa, dengan adik-beradik dah hal. Okey, dengan orang mungkin besan kita kan, janganlah rapat gila, atau kawan-kawan kita kalau kita dapat berjumpa. Okey, jaga penjarakan. Mbak sanitizer kalau ada sanitizer. Okey, kalau kita ada minggang barang, banyak barang dekat makan di luar ke apa-apa, kita mula aktiviti berjalan di luar, cuba basuh tangan atau wash your hand, clean your hands, pakai hand sanitizer. Mak bapak tak mesti ada dengan hand sanitizer nak. Yang botol kecil boleh mbak kulu kile, senang pakai tambak. So social distancing, hand sanitizer, dan cuba mengelaklah, adik-adik cuba mengelakkan dari kawasan yang mungkin potensi tinggi COVID-19. Okey, apa boleh kita start? We can start sekali macam ni. Kita kini tu ambil memandang kita apa kita boleh lakukan. Okey, dalam first thing, apa kita boleh buat dengan paling simplenya lah di rumah. Kita yang paling penting kita mesti sihat minda, sihat fizikal, okey, menjaga kebersihan ya yang paling penting, because COVID tu kalau tempat kotor yang boleh kena juga. Okey, kita mesti amalkan kebersihan ya. So apa yang kita boleh adik-adik buat di rumah, seperti di sekolah kita ada pendidikan jasmani. Okey, pendidikan jasmani adalah untuk kesihatan fizikal dan kesihatan mental, because kalau kita perlu bersenam, minda kita pun perlu bersenam. Jadi apa yang adik-adik boleh buat adalah contohnya seperti lompat bintang, berlari serentak, apa lagi ketam tubi, sit up. Kita ada banyak jenis exercise senaman yang adik-adik boleh buat di rumah untuk menjaga kesihatan. Jangan mengharapkan kita duduk depan TV aja atau main dengan kita pun gadget ke, gaming ke. Boleh, abang ada bukan boleh, tapi kadang-kadang kita duduk lama gila nak, we sitting too long, bagus untuk kesihatan badan. Kita mesti mobile, kita mesti bergerak. So adik-adik, ialah kepentingan kadang-kadang memang PJK atau PJ dekat suka favorite subjek adik-adik kan. Boleh exercise, berlari, main bola, main hoki ke apa ke. Ya kegunaannya, because kita di sekolah ada 2 peringkat, kesihatan minda, kita belajar, kita menimba ilmu, dan yang kedua ialah kesihatan fizikal, di mana PJK membantu cikgu-cikgu, pergerakan badan, senaman ya penting juga. Jangan don't just sit down play with your gadgets, don't just sit down gaming, doing nothing. Kalau kita pernah nanggar diri kita main, adik-adik main dalam game depan cermin nak, kita umpam macam zombie tau. Kedia je nanggar gadget, bergerak, jari je bergerak, kedah zombie. Ni bagus lah. Minda je bergerak, jari je bergerak, tapi badan bergerak. Jadi kesihatan ya penting juga adik-adik. Adik-adik perlu melakukan aktiviti fizikal. You must do physical activity at home, even a simple one. Simple pun dekat rumah. Okey, paling simple dekat rumah. Perlu buka TV, menanggar. Kita boleh buat aktiviti fizikal ke diri. Kedak memang dah tadi, push up, sit up, star jump, yang boleh menggerakkan sendi-sendi. Okey, selain daripada exercise tu, kita pola ke diri, of course. Tapi jangan lupa kita boleh melakukan aktiviti dengan adik-beradik, dengan ibu bapa. Kalau ada cousin-cousin yang sehat walafiat, bolehlah melakukan aktiviti fizikal, berlari di dalam kawasan perumahan atau dalam kawasan rumah kita. Kalau kita ada kawasan lapang, kita boleh main. Sila main. Jangan berjemur hal. Berjemur sekejap, matahari yang bagus. Kita berjemur under matahari ada vitamin D. Okey, jadi aktiviti yang bagus. Alright. Selain daripada selain daripada aktiviti fizikal, ada banyak lagi benda lain yang kita boleh buat adik-adik. Okey, benda lain yang kita boleh buat untuk kita boring di rumah. Okey, ada banyak hobi di luar sana, ada banyak games yang kita boleh main dengan adik-beradik kita, dengan abang-abang, kakak kita, dengan mak bapak kita. Banyak game. Jadi semestinya kita duduk dengan gadget aja. Alright. Contohnya, alright, kami di rumah ada 2 orang anak. Okey, seorang lelaki, seorang perempuan. Dua-dua duduk rumah, dapat ke sekolah, cannot go to school because of COVID. Okey, sekolah masih melarangkan untuk turun ke sekolah kerana merisaukan kesihatan adik-adik. So don't worry. Di rumah confirm ada game, card game, board game kah, mesti ada contohnya. Favorite game, Monopoly. Mesti kita orang ingat boring nak Monopoly. Okey, ada banyak kebaikan main Monopoly tu. Okey, sikitnya bukan main seorang, kita satu family, adik-adik, abang-abang, kakak-kakak, mak bapak boleh main Monopoly. Dan apa bagusnya tu, selain daripada menggerakkan tubuh badan, main Monopoly tu boleh menggerakkan minda. Soalannya, Macam ni yang menggerakkan minda. Senang. Monopoli tu boleh kirakan kita belajar matematik, kita belajar mengendalikan wang, kita belajar membuat simpanan, semua ada situ. Kita belajar membuat pembelian. Jadi itulah kebaikan monopoli tu. Okay, kita boleh main. Okay, semestinya adik-adik main dengan kita seorang aja, kita main dengan family. Okay, game tu nang bagus untuk mengeratkan silaturahim dengan family members, dengan mak bapak kita, adik-beradik. So this is Monopoly, one of the highly recommended. Abang recommend adik-adik cuba bermain dengan family. Okay, bagus. Mak bapak boleh menolong mengajar mengira. Okay, boleh menolong mengajar mengenal nombor, mengenal tempat, because monopoli-nya banyak jenis. Okay, tok kira monopoli standard. Tapi kalau siapa mau adik-adik ada minat Avengers kah, Lord of the Ring kah, ada game Pokemon kah, monopoli ada jenisnya. Jadi kita akan boring. Semua ada. Jadi adik-adik confirm akan boring. Okay, kalau monopoli besar gila, Uno ada keluarkan yang jenis kecil, game cepat, quick game. Dan memang quick game. Tok sama aja monopoli, tapi tok okay, kita ngembak. Tok pakai tak ngembak kudu kile. Kalau kita dapat keluar jumpa kawan, jumpa family member lain, kita boleh ngembak tok. Sama juga mengenal duit, mengenal tempat, mengenal belajar matematik. Ada juga dalam bahasa English, di English juga ada. English bahasa Malaysia. Tok aktiviti boleh dilakukan oleh adik-adik dengan family semasa lockdown tu. Kita ada lockdown lagi dah. Bukan semua tempat lockdown. Jadi kita ada kebebasan pergerakan terkawal. Jadi adik-adik don't worry lah. Memang kita akan kalahkan COVID-19 tu. Jadi kita perlu hanya bersabar. Okay, yang penting kita perlu bersabar. Okay, recommended Uno Flip. Memang best. Kami main dengan anak-anak kami memang kadang-kadang dengan adik-beradik, cousin-cousin besan, memang riuh. Okay, adik-adik boleh cuba belajar main. Kepada yang lebih macam ni madau, adik-adik mau lebih sistematik, lebih permainan teratur, also baik untuk minda permainan checkers. Okay, checkers tu ada rumit sikit, tapi bila dah belajar main tu memang enjoy lah. Kita melatih pemikiran macam ni, mau fikir ke depan, macam ni mengatur langkah. Jadi kita exercise minda. Kita boleh, bila kita dah fasih bermain, adik-adik fasih bermain, kita boleh berlawan dengan family members. Atau kalau kita tengah zoom ke apa-apa kan, actually boleh kamera zoom ke situ, kita pilih bahagian ni, kita mau bahagian putih atau bahagian hitam, kita masih boleh main dengan kawan. Kerana kini tu kan urus pelajaran sekolah dilakukan secara zoom, secara online, secara belajar di rumah. Okey, memang kita adik-adik perlu belajar, tapi selepas pelajaran tu tidak semestinya iajak digunakan secara online. Ada banyak kegunaan secara online. Kita masih boleh bertemu dengan kawan-kawan, bertemu dengan family walaupun orang jauh, tanya tengah lockdown. Okay, adik-adik boleh jumpa dengan cousin kita, no problem. Online boleh kelakar, boleh ketawa, boleh molah joke, boleh masih bertemu, masih bersemuka. Semestinya main telefon. Sama juga dengan game-game tu. Walaupun si di hadapan mata, masih tetap bermain dengan kawan secara online atau dengan family. So this is chess. Siapa ingin belajar, boleh belajar. Kalau kita nangga dekat meja kami tu nak, meja abang tu lah actually aktiviti yang abang lakukan. Abang lakukan semasa lockdown. Bila abang dapat keluar dari rumah, boleh turun kerja, ia pun dengan penjagaan sosial, ia pun dengan ada injection 2 kali, boleh keluar, boleh ada rasa kebebasan sikit. Tapi penjagaan sosial, okey, anak-anak, adik-adik, penjagaan sosial memang maintain. Tapi itulah contoh-contoh yang abang lakukan. Semua tu is my aktiviti kami. Selain daripada berbasikal, selain daripada jogging, okey, kedak memang dah awal-awal ni, jangan lupa untuk berjemur. Okay. Mungkin pelik lah adik-adik dengar abang madah kita perlu berjemur, main bawah matahari. Tapi ada kebaikannya main bawah matahari lah. Untuk kesihatan badan, untuk mendapat vitamin D. Kalau kita duduk dalam rumah saja di bawah bumbung, kita akan nampak murung, okay? Lesu, lelah, okay? Nampak malas. Kita duduk rumah saja, nangga TV saja, kita keluar, kita akan berasa malas, badan akan berasa lesu. Jadi pentinglah kita mengamalkan aktiviti fizikal. Okay, adik-adik dengar, dalam sehari ya, kalau boleh, adik-adik cuba janji dengan abang dalam sehari ya 1 jam setiap petang. Okay, ambil 1 jam kita orang main di luar, depan rumah aja kah, dekat padang. Kalau rumah tak ada padang, main je dulu, berekod, okay, run, jogging setempat, main polis anti. Siapa pernah main polis anti? Siapa main polis anti, berkepung, kejar-mengejar, main relay kah? Okay, 1 jam setiap hari untuk kesihatan badan. Okay, saat kita orang duduk setempat aja. Alright. Okay, kalau kami akan tunjukkan tuklah aktiviti kami. Ultraman Netflix tu dibuat kami, okay, duduk. Okay, bila mula aktiviti-aktiviti tu semuanya dalam benda kecil-kecil. Jadi bila kita mulanya, kita melatihkan minda, kita melatihkan motor skills. Motor skills maksudnya ialah pergerakan jari kita. Okey, dulu masa di sekolah kita menulis, kita pun motor skills. Okey, tapi kita di rumah kita mungkin jarang bertulis, jarang membuat buku aktiviti latihan. Jadi aktiviti macam tu, pembinaan more kids, melatihkan motor skills kita, okey, pergerakan jari semua, supaya kita duduk aja dengan gadget semua kedaya. Okey, contohnya kita ada banyak-banyak jenis lah. Ada Ultraman, ada Zoids, ada Transformers. Favorite kami ada Gundam. Tu contoh-contoh Gundam tu upah kotaknya bila nak yalah, bilanya siap kelak. Alright, tu dah ya dah. So abang akan ambil break sikit. So habis tu kami akan kelakar lebih sikit apa adik-adik boleh buat masa kita orang di rumah semasa COVID-19 tu. Okay, see you in a bit. Ciao. Okey, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat kembali, welcome back adik-adik di Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Miri di area Makerspace. Okey, nama kami Abang Joe Fairuz. Okey, awal-awal tadi abang ada berkelakar tentang aktiviti yang kita boleh buat di rumah sewaktu kita tengah COVID-19 tu. Alright. Awal-awal kami ada madangan adik-adik kita boleh melakukan aktiviti fizikal yang kita buat di sekolah, seperti di sekolah semasa PJ, okey. Seperti contohnya lompat bintang, okey, push up, sit up, berlari setempat, aktiviti kedayalah. Kita perlu menjaga kesihatan badan. Jadi semestinya aktiviti fizikal kita perlu menjaga kesihatan minda, fizikal, emosi juga perlu jaga, because kalau kita duduk di rumah lama-lama berperam kedaya bagus sebenarnya. Okey, bagus. Kita tu jenis orang suka keluar, kita suka mula aktiviti di luar, bertemu dengan orang. Jadi kalau kita duduk lama-lama di rumah, emosi kita bagus. Okey, kita jadi macam murung. Okey, adik-adik perlu menjaga kesihatan kita dengan ya, mak bapak kita akan memang nolong jaga kita mula aktiviti di rumah. Saat kita duduk di rumah, ada pola papa mungkin duduk hari-hari main gadget, iPad kah, telefon kah, apa-apa kah, main game aja. Okey, kayak masa hari biasa kita mungkin duduk online, school online, sekolah online, okey, pelajaran secara online. Kayak ya aja ada pola papa, aktiviti fizikal ada. Jadi aktiviti fizikal tu kita boleh mula ke diri. Okey, dalam segmen pertama tadi kami mandah kita boleh pola kita pola di sekolah lah. Adik-adik boleh buat di sekolah semasa aktiviti PJK. Kita boleh main bola dalam kawasan rumah, basketball kalau ada, atau boleh main berlari-lari, dengan adik-beradik, main polis anti ke apa, main jadi ke, okey. So tu aktiviti yang kita adik-adik boleh bola di rumah selain daripada melakukan aktiviti dan aktiviti collection ke apa seperti contoh-contoh yang abang kah kat atas meja tu lah. Board game ada, aktiviti koleksi, kita boleh melatih tangan, membaca, belajar membaca arahan, mengikuti arahan, melatih motor skills, pergerakan motor kita, pergerakan tangan. Ada sikit lagi kami ingin menekan, selain daripada kita melakukan pergerakan fizikal untuk kesihatan badan, kita jangan lupa melatih minda. Melatih minda tu senang. Dalam setiap aktiviti yang kita lakukan, adik-adik lakukan, kita menggunakan minda kita, menggunakan pemikiran, menggunakan otak kita untuk melakukan aktiviti. Adik-adik semestinya kita zoom je. Ada menggunakan minda, memang ada. Dari segi kalau kita membina kit, kita membaca, kita belajar mengikuti arahan, kita belajar untuk bersabar, jangan macam mana dia mau cepat-cepat mula barang. So adik-adik boleh belajar bersabar. Dalam membaca kita boleh menimba ilmu, kita boleh belajar dari tempat-tempat asing secara science fiction kah, fantasy kah, secara fakta kah. Kita boleh baca komik pun boleh, journal, storybook. Ada banyak jenis buku di luar sana yang kita adik-adik boleh buat selain daripada kita orang main game aja. Contohnya baru tu abang dapat buku tu, buku edisi Nanoken. Kami dapat tu pun alhamdulillah dapat free. Tapi bukan free sebarangan free. Kami dibuat minta di pola review. Adik-adik kalau mau baca buku tu boleh dapat di dalam pustakaan negeri Sarawak Miri tu ada buku-buku Nanoken. Boleh coba minjam, boleh coba baca. Pasal abang rasa walaupun tu boleh dikategorikan untuk pre-teen, remaja sampai dewasa, tapi kami rasa adik-adik boleh juga cuba membaca bahasa, kasarnya dalam bahasa Malaysia satu, perkataan dan ayat yang digunakan senang difahami, kayak cara penulisannya senang difaham, and then apa-apa maklumat dalam tu familiar, kita kenal. Bukan benda asing yang kita si pernah jumpa. Memang penulis tu Fiziani, penulis Fiziani tu nya akan mengambil unsur-unsur lokal, yang kita faham, yang kita kenal, kehidupan kampung, kehidupan bandar, berbasikal, semua tu ada dalam buku-buku Nanoken tu. Kita boleh cobalah. Nya ada 5 IG buku. Dan buku Nanoken tu yang kelima tu abang belum dapat lagi. So tapi buku tu memang kami rekomen adik-adik coba baca. Memang puas hatilah. Dan kalau ada edisi English, siapa yang berminat dalam buku English, boleh, rasa kami akan ada lah. So don't worry. Baca buku tu bagus, melatih mata, melatih minda, melatih imajinasi adik-adik. Semestinya kita, yalah, kita concentrate dengan buku pelajaran. Buku pelajaran kita masa sekolah boleh, di rumah kita mengulang kaji boleh, tapi jangan lupa merehatkan minda juga, membaca buku-buku seperti tu. Tok Nanoken dalam kategori fantasi, science fiction. Kami memang rekomen lah kalau adik-adik mau baca buku tu. Sikit lagi buku yang kami minat, abang minat baca, ada science fiction. Tu memang dari kami masa kanak-kanak lah, Robotech. Mungkin adik-adik kini tu memang si pernah dengar lah apa Robotech ya. Tapi kalau kita berkesempatan bertemu buku Robotech dan suka dengan science fiction, kapal terbang boleh tukar jadi robot, berlawan dengan alien ke daya, tu kami rekomen lah cari buku Robotech. Baca tu pun apa tadi, memang melatih minda, mengatur imajinasi kita, boleh kenal macam ni rupa masa hadapan kelak lah. So dewan macam ni lah jadinya. So it's basically baca buku, okay, ada koleksi, biarkan kita adik-adik aktif, okay, jangan duduk aja, silakan aktif, dan kita memang akan sihat, okay. Alright, ya, aktif di rumah. Ada lagi sikit aktiviti kalau adik-adik mau pola, selain daripada membaca buku, memasang hobi kids, main game ke semua tu, kita boleh juga kini tu ada macam-macam jenis Lego. Okay, semestinya Lego original. Kini tu ada banyak-banyak third party, apa tadi, model kit, model bricks. Ramai orang gelanya bricks, model bricks yang kita adik-adik boleh pola. Contohnya tu lah. Yang si mahal dalam harga-harga berpatutan, senang didapati di sini-sini kedai supermarket ke toy store ke, senang dapat. Dan paling best sekali kalau kita mula aktiviti ke Datuk nak any of this activity kan, boleh dikatakan cukup syarat untuk kesihatan. Mungkin mak bapak siapa-siapa nangga dah mesti tertanya-tanya, apalah duduk mula tu ada cukup syarat kesihatan. Okey, kami akan terangkan. Pertama, untuk mencari hobi kit, contohlah kids tu. Pertama kita dapat keluar dari rumah, berjalan, walaupun dalam kereta mesti kita keluar dari kereta, berjalan, bercari, bertangga, memilih nak ni tidaknya mau nak. Memang jalan, aktif keluar, kita berjemur je di luar nun, cari parking apa-apa kan, kita keluar menjalankan aktiviti, menggerakkan badan kita. Okey adik-adik, kita ikut mak bapak kita nak, memang berjalan nak, mesti kita lelah je kan, no problem, memang ya biasa ya. So selepas berjalan kita berbeli, kita berkepung ke lukile, bercari dengan benda tu dengan mak bapak kita. Adik-adik dah milih kit ni tak suka, kita balik rumah. Okey, kedua, dari segi minda dan emosi. Dari segi minda, first, bila mula mendatuk, kita akan membuka buku arahan. Bila kita membuka buku arahan, instruction manual ya, kita membaca, aktiviti membaca. Point. Kedua, bila kita membaca buku instruction, buku arahannya, minda kita akan bergerak. Okey. Minda kita akan bergerak. Kita akan cuba memahami instructionnya. Okey, memahami instructionnya, macam ni memolah sampai ke hujung. Jadi fizikalnya ada, mindanya ada. Dari segi emosi, mungkin kita si nampak, adik-adik mungkin si nampak, tapi segi emosi tu adalah sedikit penting. Bila kita mula tu nak, kita ada kepuasan, kita rasa happy, sedikit emosi. Kedua, secara emosinya mungkin mak bapak kita akan duduk dengan kita, sama-sama mula, mengeratkan silaturahim kita dengan mak bapak kita, dengan adik-adik. Also dari segi emosi, kita happy, kepuasan, kita sedih because kita duduk rumah, ada pola apa-apa kan adik-adik kan. Jadi bila kita ada aktiviti tu, semua cukup. Aktiviti fizikal, pergerakan fizikal, kesihatan minda dan kesihatan emosi, semua cukup. Okey, jadi kita akan kekurangan pergerakan semua tu. Untuk semua aktiviti yang kita boleh buat, adik-adik boleh buat semasa kita di rumah. Okey. Kini tu syukur alhamdulillah kita ada full lockdown, kita boleh keluar, dan baru-baru tu dekat Miri tu abang dengar adik-adik dah boleh keluar, tapi perlu masih mengamalkan penjarakan fizikal. Okey. Baru-baru tu juga anak-anak abang keluar pergi Bintang Mall. Okey, di sini adanya dah, walaupun masih banyak orang, tapi at least danya boleh keluar, danya rasa murung duduk di rumah aja main gadget, kedak zombie jadi danya, kedak abang madah danya upah kedak zombie main game aja. Alright. So kalau adik-adik ada berpeluang, ambaklah mak bapak kita at least ambil one kit, cuba belajar pola. Coba ambak sekali mak bapak kita, antara kita mula kit kah, kita main game kah, dah hal ya, memang khas untuk kita dengan family kita. Okey, adik-adik, supaya kita rasa boring, kita ada aktiviti, kita duduk, kita jadi lemah, jadi lesu. Alright, amat penting, okay, adik-adik, very important, okay, kita untuk menjaga kesihatan di rumah, bukan sekadar di luar aja, di rumah. Because kalau kita jaga kesihatan dari fizikal, minda dan emosi, kita boleh jatuh sakit. Okay, kalau jatuh sakit banyak lagi masalah. Kalau membuat pergi klinik, banyak prosedur yang perlu dilalui. Jadi paling bagus jaga kesihatan, okey. Cari hobi, main game, bukan game tablet, bukan game online. Kalau boleh main game outboard dengan family member, dengan adik-beradik, mak bapak, okey. Atau kita duduk pola kit. Kalau kita mau mencuba, boleh mau kit. Kini itu banyak boleh dapati online. Okay, boleh minta tolong mak bapak atau ada family member boleh tolong beli. Okay, pastikan kita ada aktiviti di rumah. Alright, pastikan ada aktiviti di rumah supaya boring. Okay, adik-adik, abang faham kadang-kadang pelajaran online, persekolahan online pagi-pagi kadang-kadang ya, kita boleh boring, kita boleh resah, walaupun kita boleh berjumpa kawan-kawan kita ramai-ramai dalam masa FaceTime ke Zoom ya. Okay, abang faham. Tapi ya, kita masih duduk, bergerak, berdepan dengan komputer ke tablet ke telefon. Okay, coba amalkan pergerakan. Gerak mepadah dalam segmen pertama tadi. Coba ambil sejam dalam sehari, waktu petang, berjemur sikit, main di luar, ambil udara segar. Okey, bila kita beriadah, memulakan aktiviti, okey, perlu pakai topeng. Okey, kami dengar perlu pakai topeng, tapi kalau boleh pakailah topeng lah. Kita di luar pakailah topeng. Pasal COVID tu nya banyak-banyak variasi. Kita tahu apa lagi nya pun variasi akan keluar. Bau-bau tu kita ada variasi delta nak. Variasi delta tu nya airborne, nya dalam udara. Jadi penting kita ada topeng. So kita tahu apa lagi, harap-harap ada lagi variasi lain lah kan adik-adik kan. So kita beriadah di tempat yang banyak orang kalau boleh. Tapi yang penting kita ada udara segar. Kita di luar, kita ada cahaya matahari untuk mendapat vitamin cahaya. And then kita melakukan aktiviti fizikal. Okey, kita mula macam PJK di sekolah, okey, pendidikan jasmani di sekolah. Okey, kita kediri tahu, adik-adik kediri tahu what you need to do during PJ. Okey, masa PJ memang kita akan lupa, memang favorite kita. Alright. Okay, I think sempena Hari Kanak-Kanak Sarawak tu, abang mau mengucapkan selamat Hari Kanak-Kanak Sarawak. Kanak-kanak Sarawak di Pustaka Miri Sarawak tu, Pustaka Sarawak Miri. Jadi hari pelancaran untuk Hari Kanak-Kanak Sarawak Children's Day di Miri adalah 30 hari bulan, di Kuching 29 hari bulan. So sempena Sarawak Children's Festival tahun 2021, jumpa anda di sana. Okey, jumpa kita orang 30 hari bulan kelak. Semua akan dilakukan secara virtual di Pustaka Miri through the Facebook. Okey, secara virtual di Facebook. Ada macam-macam aktiviti lah, macam-macam show, macam-macam video. Jadi kalau adik-adik free, ya hari adik-adik lah, 30 hari bulan lah, Sarawak Children's Festival 2021, 30 hari bulan di Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Miri Branch Facebook. Jadi kita boleh jumpa abang. Okay, kita boleh messagekan abang. Kalau kita mau kelakar dengan abang, no problem. Abang akan cuba jawab dengan kita secepat mungkin. Kita boleh nanggah dalam Facebook Pustaka Negeri Sarawak Miri dengan aktiviti-aktiviti yang diadakan, video yang akan diadakan. Okey, ada macam-macam jenis. So adik-adik, selamat Hari Kanak-Kanak Sarawak. Okey, happy Sarawak Children's Festival 2021. Here kami Abang Daizulizam bin Haji Abang Sari atau Abang Joe, kami mengucapkannya selamat berhari Minggu. Okey, selamat Sarawak Children's Festival. Okey, jaga kesihatan, jaga kebersihan, and kami harap jumpa kita orang lagi in the next video. mungkin on a different topic pasal aktiviti yang kita boleh adik-adik lakukan di rumah. Okay, kalau ada apa-apa soalan boleh contact abang di media social media melalui Pustakaan Negeri Sarawak. So kami end it here lah. So assalamualaikum, terima kasih dan jumpa anda di sana. Okay, bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Ignitius and I'm from INY Studio. Today I'm excited because we are taking an in-depth look at how to use the free recording software called BandLab. BandLab is a free and fully functioning digital audio workstation that's compatible with any platform out there, and we are going to be taking a comprehensive look at its more beginner features and then move into some music creation together. So if you have been looking for recording software to start recording your music in, then this just might be the program for you. And without further ado, let's jump in. All you have to do to get started with BandLab is to create an account within. I have already done that and it's free. So once you have logged in, it is simple as hitting the create button. And the first thing we are going to look at is the tracks. This is where the music making happens. And if you can see here, there are several categories that we can choose from. And we are going to start first with the first option here, which is the MIDI instrument. So all you have to do is to click that icon and it brings up a new software instrument. In this new software instruments track, which is by default is this grand piano. But you are not limited to this grand piano only. You have a huge library of instruments which you can find right down here. If you don't see this box, you can click on instruments and here you can click on this top menu and you can choose all kinds of instruments that you prefer. If you want to choose some pianos, you want to choose some drum pad, drum kits, bass, or strings, there's a lot of options here. I'm going to stick with piano right now. And then the lower menu gives you options of different kinds of piano that you can play with. So how do you play and record all these instruments? We have two main options. The first one would be plugging in what we call a MIDI controller. This is a small keyboard that plugs into your computer USB and automatically sync with BandLab. The second option would be actually using your typing keyboard. So as you can see down here, the V, G, and B and H, and in these control keys on the keyboard. So now we are ready to record our first part. But before we do that, I want to bring your attention to this button right here, which turns on or off the metronome on the click track. So whenever I turn it on and hit the space bar, you can hear that a quick track. And here I want to pause and recommend that you record all your tracks with the click track on, because it's going to help you to stay in time throughout the course of your project. Now, if the click track is too fast or too slow, you can double click here and change the speed of your song. You can actually click this button and tap how fast or how slow you want your song to be. Now for this tutorial, I'm going to leave it at 120.
Don't sleep.
Up next, we're going to talk about melody making. Now, as you can see from the screen here, in order for you to record, you can actually press the red record button here or press R in your keyboard. So once you press R, it will start recording. So for this tutorial, I'm going to use a very simple children's song, which is Peppa Pig, that all of us are familiar with. And I have drafted out the simple notes in your keyboard layout. So you just press according to the alphabet in your keyboard, and it will actually have the melody as per the song. So without further ado, let's get into it. In this Peppa Pig song example, we're going to use the typing keyboard to play the melody of the song. So you may press the following keys, which is P-I-Y-U-E, E-T-U-O-I-Y. So this will actually place the Peppa Pig melodies. But before we go into this, let's look at the grand piano here. All right. So there's an octave. So for octave 1, usually it will sound at a lower pitch. So we would like to higher the pitch to make the song sounds better. But before that, let's listen how does octave 1 sounds like. So you can hear it is much lower pitch. So we want to have a higher pitch for the song. Oh, now that sounds much better for the song. So please change the octave to octave 3, and we start practicing by pressing the alphabets. There you go. Now you have your first melody in BandLab. Congratulations! Next, let's record this melody into the track. You can start by pressing R, then start playing the melody. That's great. Now let's listen the playback of the song. Alright, that sounds pretty good. Now once you have done recording the melody, you can explore different type of sound in the listing as well. So for now, I would like to change the grand piano to percussion and marimba. So let's have a listen how it sounds like. Well, this sounds suitable as well, so we'll keep that. So aside, you can also copy and duplicate the melody that you have created. So you do not need to play again and again for the same melody if it's repeated. So for this case, I will actually copy and I will paste it in a different timeline to suit the whole song. So I'm going to move it a bit. Now I'm going to copy another 2 more. Because I want to make the whole song a bit longer. So the same process, copy and then paste at the specific timeline that you want. So altogether, I'll make it into a 4-bar sequence. Right, so now we have 4 repeated melody. So let's have a quick. Here you go. You can just duplicate each of the melody as many times as you want. Now the next thing we can do is to add another instrument track. So here you can click Add Track and then choose MIDI instruments once again. So at the bottom menu here, you can choose a different type of instrument. For this case, we choose bass, and then let's go to sync bass, and then choose Haba bass. I have prepared the bass line for this song. You can type in your typing keyboard, which is CCB and then CCX. Let's give it a try to practice first, okay? One more time. Okay, now let's try record it. Okay, let's have a playback and listen. Okay, that sounds alright. So let's make the track longer a bit, and we also make it into a loop. So we will loop all over these 4 bars of the melody. Now let us add some spice and chords to our music. Let's click Add Track and then choose MIDI instruments. This round, let us choose strings and then strings orchestra. So I've prepared the chords. Let's play along within these chords. Let's practice for one more round before we record. Okay, let's do the recording now. Listen back to the playback. Now, if you find some of the notes are not in time, you can double click on the track and it will lead you to the MIDI editor. So from here, you can fine tune the timing or even the notes, right? Let's do a little bit more fine tuning here. So this MIDI editor, you can actually modify the notes that you have played. Okay. Now we're going to make the whole chords into a loop again for the whole song. So same process, just click on the right top and then drag along the way. It will become a loop. Last but not least, let us add some beats to the music. So in BandLab, the good thing is it has a lot of sound library. And in the sound library, it has a lot of drum loops. So let's click on this BandLab sounds and then go to loops, choose drum. And then for this particular song, I would like to use the pop and R&B genre. And then there's one particular drum beat that I like, which is this Steve Jackson drum. And when you choose the drum beat, ensure you choose the same speed as per your song. So for this particular exercise, we're going to choose this 120 BPM and then the number 78 drum loop. So let's have a listen on how it sounds like and ensure the speed is correct. So I'm going to play and have a listen on how it sounds like. Okay, so the drum loop sounds good. So we can click and drag it and make a loop for the whole song. So we are almost done for the whole song. I just do a little bit fine tuning on the volume adjustment. And next we can actually go and export and produce the song. So once you are satisfied with your project, you can always name your project by simply clicking on the project title. So for this project, I'm going to name it as Peppa Pig Remix. So once you have named, ensure you save the project as well. Just go to File and then click on Save. In order to export this particular music, you can just go to File and then you choose Download and choose mixed down as. So mixed down will actually compile the whole tracks into one single file. So for this particular mix down, you can also choose in a WAV format or MP3 format. And in the MP3 format, you can choose various type of quality as well. If you have chosen track only, it will only save the particular track, such as the drum track or the piano track. Okay, but for the mix down, it will actually download the whole track into one single file. So now I'm going to choose the highest quality MP3. So I just click on that download button, and it will save into your local directory. So you can just click and play the file afterwards. Now for this tutorial song, here's the second version that I've done. Just share with all of you. Congratulations and well done in completing the basic of using BandLab. And I hope through this simple tutorial, it can help you to understand and start pick up this software, which is BandLab, and understand the simple features of a digital audio workstation. With this, it can help you to start making your own music soon. So the next thing to do is actually to explore all the sound library available in BandLab, and also to try out all the musical instruments available in this software. I'm looking forward to hear your music soon. So before I end for today's session, I just would like to share another project that I've did using BandLab as well. So there's a lot of possibility and a lot of creativity can be explored using this software. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share with you, and I hope you enjoy today's session. Till then, see you again. Take care.
Hi everyone, Abang Uwaes here and welcome to another video for your Sarawak Children Festival Day. So today we'll be exploring a little bit on teachable machines. So you would know it more as artificial intelligence or AI. So we are going to make learning fun with AI. So we're gonna get started with our M-Block today. So let's get started. Alright, so before we begin with making learning fun with machine learning today or our AI, we are going to need M-Block. So how we're going to get M-Block is first thing first, you guys use your preferred browser. For me, I'll be using Google Chrome. So you guys going to search M-Block. So what you guys can do is you guys can click this link, macblock.com. So you guys click that. So there's quite a number of things that you guys can download here, but for today what you're going to do is you're going to click download itself, and then there's 3 different versions of this. So we have the web version, so you can use the M-Block version online. Number 2, you have the PC version, where you can pretty much use it as an app on the PC itself, and of course the last one is the mobile app itself. But for today, the one that we're going to use is actually the M-Block PC version. So depending on whether you're using MacBook or Apple, or we are using Windows, whichever operating system that you use, you're going to use that and download that. So for me, I'm gonna download for Windows, so I'm gonna click that and save it in my installation folder, and I save it. And then once I save that, and once it's finished downloading, I'm just gonna install it into my PC. And once you have it installed, then you are ready to pretty much navigate through M-Block itself. So I'm gonna do that. So let's move on to M-Block. So alright, we have installed our M-Block. So I'm gonna go down here and search M-Block itself. So I'm gonna click on it, and it will load up and will show up all this interface here. So first thing first, you guys can see here we have devices tab, sprites tab, and the background tab. So under devices, here is where you put, let's say your Arduino Uno, you wanted to make the sprite interface or to interact with Arduino Uno. So you see here, there's Arduino Uno here. I can just left click it and add it to my M-Block. So that means, let's say if I want, whenever I press a button, the sprite would move. So this is where you basically connect your device with the sprite itself. But for today, we won't be needing any devices. No worries, we are only going to use our web camera today. Now I'm gonna delete this. So let's look at our sprites. This is where most of our coding will be done today. So we have our sprites here. We can move this sprite to the left, to the right. You can make it talk, you can even make it, dance, change color. So this is where our coding are. So like for example, if I want to make it move, let's say 10 steps to the right, and then I just double click it, you can make it move to the right. And then let's say I can right click and duplicate it and move negative 10 steps. What that means is gonna move backwards 10 steps. So let me just double click it, and you can see that he's moving backwards. How about if I want to make him turn like 15 degrees? So you can see you're making 15 degrees and turning and turning and turning, but it's gonna be very hard for me to actually click it every time. So let's say I put in the code called forever, and then I want to activate it with a green flag. So let me left click that and see that your sprite is turning. So you can do a lot of things with the coding in M-Block itself, but this is just pretty much the tip of the iceberg of what you can do with M-Block. And as I mentioned just now, I would like to basically make learning fun for you guys, and we pretty much will be making a quiz at the end of this. But before that, we will need an extension. So for today, our extension would be Teachable Machine. So with Teachable Machine, it allows your camera to become like a sort of like an extension to this artificial intelligence. You'll be showing, like for example, I'm gonna show to the screen, I'm gonna put a bottle in front of the camera itself. It would identify the item, and it will know that, oh, when I put my bottle in front of the camera, it would know that, oh, it's a bottle. And if I put a scissor in front of the camera, it would know that it is a scissor itself. So you are teaching the machine to learn at what are the things that you are pretty much going to show the camera itself. So we're going to need that. What you guys are going to do is just click add, and then there you go, the extension has been added itself. So what you guys can do is, this is where the most important part would be. You guys would need a training model. So what a training model here means that we need to train your artificial intelligence, your AI here. Like for example, if you guys are, doing maths, you guys have to train yourself to, okay, how do I do multiplication? How do I do division? So basically, it's the same case here. Your machine needs to know what he needs to detect. Like for example, like I mentioned just now, the bottle in front of the camera. So essentially that's the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo the training model right now. Alright, when we click training model here, you guys going to see my face for a bit. So what we're going to do is here, training model. Hello guys, long time no see. So what we're going to do is each of this have quite a number of categories that we can fill in. So I have ready here for our quiz here today. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different items. So I'm gonna build a new model because I'm gonna need 5 items. So I'm gonna put here 5 different categories. So what it's going to do is it needs to learn a lot of photos. Pretty much, let's say I'm going to show this bottle in front of the camera. It needs to learn this. So what you're going to do is I'm going to name each of this category first. So let's say this category is bottle. I'm going to put here scissors. I'm going to put here as wallet. Okay, alright. Need hand sanitizer, and I need hand sanitizer here, and then one last thing is mask. So I'm gonna do that as well. So we have things that we're going to need as for our item. So I'm gonna do is, let's say the bottle. So I'm gonna ask it to learn. So it's taking different angle of photos right now, so it needs to be quite different. Let's say if I'm not in the picture, I also can. So you guys can see that I'm actually trying to, okay, it's like trying to see, you have to spam the button so that it knows that it's the item itself. So the best number of things that you can put here is roughly around 20 to 30 samples. The more sample it is, the more sample that you have, the more accurate it will be. So right now it's trying to capture all of these different angles that I've actually put into this. So that means the higher it is, the more confident that it knows that this is a bottle itself. So I'm just gonna put 30 samples. Okay, I'm gonna put scissors next. Scissors is gonna be hard because it's gonna detect that I'm in the photo itself as well. So let's see. So it's trying to learn it. So it has to be quite distinct from one another. So distinct. So even you can do like half cover like this. So when you guys do like this, it would essentially pretty much try to capture that this is a scissor. So let me try to do a lot of this sample first. The bigger it is, the better, so that it knows that, okay, that is the sample that you guys are talking about. So the closer it is, it's easier. The more closer, the easier you would know that that is the sample that it needs to focus on. Okay, alright, I've put 29 samples. Let's just do one more sample. And then there you go. Alright. Okay. Let's see what's next. I need a wallet. So I'm just gonna put my wallet in front of here. So it's like very distinctly black. I can also open it up if I want to. But just for safety's sake, I want to be opening it. So I'm just gonna open it and just okay, a bit more. So if you guys can see, the confidence level for this thing that it is a wallet is very low, so I need more samples of it as well. So right now what I'm doing is actually I'm spamming my mouse button so that it detects that this is a sample. Okay, I can even go beyond 30. but just to make it more confident and stuff. So we have my wallet ready. Now is the hard part. So I have a very small hand sanitizer here. So let's try if it can detect that this is a hand sanitizer. Okay, alright, putting a lot of the samples in. I can even make it go upside down and turn it around, and even from the top view, even from the bottom view. Alright, I actually gave a lot of samples there. Right, one last but not least, I'm gonna get some masks. Alright, so my mask sample, so I have a blue mask here, so you guys can use whatever mask that you guys want. So the items here is, of course, it depends on what kind of quiz you guys are going to do. My quiz essentially is things that you might bring out during a going out for COVID or something like that, for pandemic. You just want to go out and hang out with your friends. So these might be the things that you need. So I'm just gonna put all of this, cover my face so that it knows that this is a mask. So okay, keep on clicking. The more that you click, again, as I mentioned, the more you click, the more confident that it gets. So I'm gonna put a bit more. Okay, right, let's test this out. Okay, I'm gonna bring out the bottle. How confident it is the bottle. See, on the right hand side here, do you see the result? It says bottle here. Okay, let's take out the scissor. Scissors, okay, it's a bit not confident about the scissors itself, but I think let's take a bit more sample on the scissors. Let's see, because right now it might also take my face as a scissor as well. So you guys, the best way actually is, what you guys can do is actually be outside of the frame, so you guys can do that. So I can just do that. So let me just add a bit more sample so that it's confident that it's a scissor. Okay, alright, let me just move back here. Hello everybody. And next, does it know that it's a wallet? Yes, 90% confident. So you guys can see the confidence level there. Okay, let me just put a random item. Does it know what is this? I have a random knife. Nope, it's like, I don't know what is this, so it's gonna say I'm a scissor, but no. How about this one, hand sanitizer? Okay, in this case, as you guys can see, it's not that confident that this is a hand sanitizer. So let me just let it learn a bit more on that this is a hand sanitizer. So the higher the confidence level, the better. So okay, alright, so let's try again. So wallet, hand sanitizer, a bottle, a scissor. Okay, scissor is not responding as well, so let's just give a bit more sample. Okay, let's go make it 99% confidence level. Okay, alright, let me just do that again. Okay, he knows that it's a scissor. And last but not least is the mask. Okay, alright, so we have our teaching model here. This model is very important for the AI to know what kind of answers that you guys want to put in the quiz. Like for example, what do we need to bring today? Do you have your mask ready? So I just put it, then it sees that it's a mask, it's going to accept the answer. So that is what I'm going to do. So after that, we're going to click use the model itself to click on that, and then basically move on to the next bit. So let me just click the use the model here. Alright, we're back with our recognition or training model here already installed into our sprite itself, and pretty much the whole project. So don't worry if you guys not going to use this sprite, it's still going to work, no worries. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete Panda first. We're going to say goodbye to him. We're going to say we have to delete him first because we're not going to use him. So for our quiz today, essentially my idea is to basically say, what does a doctor need whenever he leaves the house, or things that he might need to check before he goes outside of the house. So I'm gonna find a sprite here called doctor. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna find this one. I'm gonna use that or this. Both of these looks interesting. I'm gonna go for the second one. Alright, this female doctor over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much create the starting screen itself. Of course, sprite wise, if you guys have your own design, go ahead, go crazy. If you guys want to make your own squiz, you guys can do that, but you guys can also customize it based on what you guys have learned today. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go to events, and then when green flag is clicked, I'm gonna set the size to 300% because right now, as you can see, it's quite small. So let's see this. That's quite, I think that's the size that I want, maybe 250. Let's see. Alright, that's better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask it to go to the current position, which is this, which is in the middle. But I think if I want to make this, I would prefer it to be on the side here. Let's say here. And as you guys can see here, whenever I move the sprite around, it would actually change the position of the code here. See, this is the original position, but I want it to be moved here. So I'm going to replace that. So whenever the green flag is clicked, it would click, go to x138 minus 134 for the y-axis. Then, because later on I'm gonna pretty much hide this sprite, so I'm gonna put show first, so just in case. Okay, so we have our codes ready. So whenever the coding is start, when green flag is clicked, it's gonna move everything to this side itself. So we're gonna make the start button itself because we don't have that yet. So let's find the sprite here. So we have the sprite button for the start. So we have the start ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find this as a starting position. Remember what we did just now, we move it to where we want it, and whenever we start we can do this. So what I'm gonna do is when green flag is clicked, go to x145 minus 66. So it's also going to show up whenever it starts, because later on when the game starts, we don't want this start button to be pretty much on screen all the time. So that's the next thing that we need to do is we're going to take out forever, and then if we are clicking this button, it will change to a different costume, and then else it will be different. So like for example, if you guys see here in the costume tab here, it has one particular costume here. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to duplicate this. So instead of it becoming green, it becomes blue, for example. Let me just make that as a darker blue as well, and then this one as dark blue. There you go. So I have two outfits. This is when it's not being clicked, and this is when it's clicked. So what I'm going to do is go back to our sprites, so you guys can click X down here. So if the codes is basically when the mouse pointer is on top of it, as well as when the mouse is clicked. So the thing that you guys need is when if sensing, under sensing you can hear touching mouse pointer, that is one, and mouse down. So what that means, again, let me just repeat. So whenever I'm clicking it, or when the mouse is, whenever I click it and the mouse is over it, and it would change into a different costume. So let's do that. So on default, the look would be the first costume, which is switch costume to start button 1. So let's just activate this. So you see how it changed into the green one. But now, let's say if I want to click on it, there's nothing happening because our codes is not complete yet. So what I'm going to do here is switch costume to start button 2. And then I'm going to make it wait, let's say around 0.2 seconds. And then switch back to, so remember how to duplicate, right click, duplicate. And then switch back to number 1. And then we are going to broadcast message here. So message is very important because it's one part of the coding. Let's say if I want this sprite to activate another code to do something, this is how we're going to do it, which is through broadcast. So I'm gonna make a new message here, which is the start button itself. So START and start. So whenever it start, it would pretty much, whenever I click on the button, it would change the look, wait for 0.2 seconds, and then pretty much broadcast start. And then with that in mind, whenever I receive message start, we're going to make this disappear. So if you guys remember, under looks we have hide itself. So let's try this out. So let's start our green flag, and whenever I hover on top of it and click, and there you go, it hides, but it's missing. But don't worry, you just need to click green flag and it's gonna be appeared again. So with the code for the start button done, we're gonna continue with the sprite here. I'm gonna make a title, so I'm gonna put here as help the doctor. So I'm gonna put a text here, helped the doctor. So I'm gonna put it as pixel font. Okay, right, let's make it slightly bigger than this. So I'm gonna do this. Oh gosh, okay, all right. And then let's see, I put it in the middle. It's gonna be there. So I'm gonna make it so that in terms of after it's coded, it's gonna be on top of this start area. So let's say go to 00, it's there. So what I'm gonna do is, let's say go to X 180. Let's see where it goes to. 180 is just nice. Let's say 150. Okay, we need it to go to a bit to 20, I guess. 20 is a bit too much. Let's go to 50. Help the doctor. Alright, I'm gonna put it to 70 instead. Alright, there you go, you got it. Okay, so for the doctor bit, so we're going to do this. So we're gonna set the size to 100% just in case, because I'm gonna do is sort of like, it's gonna change size and it's gonna be like pulsating up. It gets bigger, smaller, and bigger and smaller. So let me just do this. When green flag is click, set size to 100%, and then go to this position. And of course I want it to show because I want to hide it later on. So I also want to make a color effect change, set color effect to 0 as well, and then forever change color effect. So under here, change color effect by 25, and then let's say every 0.05 seconds. And then when I receive start as well from the previous block, if you guys remember from the start button, when you click it, it's also going to glide down to, let's say, so it's going to glide down to 0.105. It's going to repeat, change size by 10. Change size by 10, it will be here. And then after that, it's going to repeat 10 times. So and then it's gonna hide after that. So I'm just gonna do that instead. Let's try this out. It's gonna do middle. Okay, and there you go. So whenever I click the start button, it's gonna help the doctor, and then like that. Okay, alright. That looks good. So pretty much the coding is done for the text and the start button, and now we need to go back to our doctor. So right now she's there for us to help out. So let's do that coding first. Okay, with our text and our start button ready, we are going to finally start the coding for the doctor. So what I'm going to do is, whenever I receive the start button, so I'm gonna make it, let's say, reduce in size a little bit. So let me just do that. So remember, under looks, we're gonna change size by 10, -10, because we want to make it smaller. Then repeat it 10 times. And then wait for 2 seconds. And then I'm gonna ask it to say something. So say hello for 2 seconds, and then get to 5 score, that can I safely get out of the house. So that means, because right now our aim is to basically go through the checklist with the doctor. And the next, I'm gonna ask the first question. First question: what do I need to safely walk out of the house? Okay, all right. So that will be our must. So what I'm going to do here is under forever, we are going to put if the result is if then else. We're going to use that. If the recognition result, let's say just now the recognition result is a mask. So if I show a mask on screen, it would say that is correct. So I'm going to just type it out. That is correct. And then for 2 seconds. So I also feel like I want to add some sound. If you guys want to add sound, so what you're going to do, you click sound here. So instead of pop, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to add a different sound, which would be a magic spell here. I like this sound because the sound effect is really nice. Let's just play that out. Okay. Because the sound is dependent on the sprite itself. So I'm going to put here this sound level as 30% because it could be a bit loud on your computer. So set volume to 30% as well. So I'm gonna do that. So and then so we have our code here. That is correct. We're gonna play sound magic spell until done, and then that is 1 score for you, 1 score for you, and then start sound. I want to make if you make a collection sound, that would be nice as well. So let me just find collect. Do I have? Yep. Let's play it up. Okay. Collect. So go back to your code here. Play sound. I think just start sound works as well. Collect. And then we are going to use a variable here for us to keep track of the score. So I'm going to make a variable here called score. So what happens is that it will change score by 1. And then what happens here is going to broadcast question 2. So we have broadcast we have the question 1 ready. So we're gonna broadcast a new message, question 2. So I'm gonna broadcast question 2 and then stop the script. So what happens is that this will be running forever and ever until pretty much I get the right item. Like for example, if I keep showing the wallet in front of the camera, it would not be moving forward. So that's just that's how it works. So after that, stop this script. Not stop all, but stop this script. So I'm gonna slot it in there, and then else say I'm gonna say, let's say at the moment, if I still haven't find the item, I still need that item. So for 4 seconds instead. So it's gonna detect it for 4 seconds. So let's just try it out. I'm gonna click the start button, and then of course we have to start the program first. Okay, right, the color of the text is the title is changing. Help the doctor. When I click the start button, let's see what happens. So the doctor becomes smaller. Now she's talking. So hello, get a 5 score so that I can safely get out of the house. First question: what do I need to safely walk out of the house? So the recognition window will come up. So right now it's saying hand sanitizer. So as you can see here, it says I still need that item. So I'm gonna show her the bottle. I still need that item. So I'm gonna show the wallet. Nope, it's not that. So let's say I put it in the mask. Then it said that is correct, and then you move on to the next bit, and you also add the variable score there as well. See, score up. So I'm going to do that to the next question as well. So let me just do that quickly. And I also realized just now the text is a bit too long, so I'm gonna make it 3 seconds, and then maybe 4 will be better. 4 and 3 seconds. As you can see that it's a bit too small. That's when the start button is here. There you go, everything is fine. So I'm gonna quickly do the code here so that I can show you guys after this what the end product is. So let me just do that quickly. Okay, my face is here. So basically I've done a lot of things already. So we started off with, setting the volume, setting the size. Of course, there's one thing that I added here is set score to 0. If you guys remember previously that we pretty much tested it out. So what happens is that, let's say right now, if you guys see on the top here, it's actually score 4 because I tested out and I got 4 scores out of 5. So whenever you start the program, it will pretty much reset it to 0. So another big that I added on is pretty much added 5 different questions, so that whenever it recognizes a particular item, it will basically move on to the next question. So how I did that is, if you guys remember just now, it would say something like, for example, that is correct, 1 score for you, and then it would change the score, and then it will broadcast to the second question, and so on and so forth. So you guys can have a look here. So I'm just gonna scroll down slowly. You guys can pause the video here if you guys want to as well. And question number 4, hand sanitizer. Question number 5 is a wallet. Then the last thing is that, and pretty much the ending itself. So let's try this out. So I'm gonna click the start button. After I click the green button itself, okay, it's changing color. Let's start. Let me have all my items ready. Hello, get to 5 scores and I can safely get out of this house. Alright, first question, what do I need to safely walk out of the house? So if you remember just now, she's gonna need a mask. So I'm gonna put that. She said that is correct. So the second item, 1 score for you. So time for the second item, what it is cut with. So I have my scissor ready here. So that is correct as well. Then the score for you, and the score goes up there. Alright, next item, what do I need? Hydrate. It's easy, so now. So I got my water bottle up here. So I'm gonna give it to you, doctor. Alright, that is correct. Second last item, on the move, so I need to keep my hands clean at all time. What do I need? Let's say I'm just gonna put here a wrong item, so it's still gonna detect, oh, that's the wrong item itself. So let me just put my hand sanitizer. That is correct. Okay, another score for me. Right, thanks. Last but not least, need some to have my identification as well, some money. Where do I put this? So I'm gonna put it in my wallet. So let's see if it detects it. That is correct. And then I have 5 score. Alright, so you can safely leave the house if you help. Thank you so much. See you next time. Goodbye, doctor. Alright, we're done. Okay, so we've done a lot of things today with our M block. So we went through all of the elements in teachable machines and how it reacts with your camera and your items that you show on screen as well, and how those is accepted as the answer for your quiz. So I hope you guys use your creativity on your own game with M block and teachable machines, and I hope to see your project real soon. And I'll see you guys next time.
everyone, Aleem here. Ever wondered how to make a Fruit Ninja game? Well, today I'll be showing you how to make one using Scratch and video sensing. Let's get into it. So first, you should go to the Scratch website, Scratch Online, and then you would click the first link and then sign in. I'm already signed in, but yeah, you can just sign in, and then you click create, and then your project will open. But if you wanna download Scratch, you can just type it to Google and type in Scratch download and click the first link you see, Scratch offline editor. And once you click the link, you will see this page. So you can click Windows, Mac, Chrome or Android and follow the steps down there once you've downloaded it. So once you start your project, you want to get a sprite. So you will click this button here, it says choose a sprite. Click it and you search for what sprite you want. In this case, I will just click the apple right here. And for this sprite, I want it to be able to be cut. So I will go to costumes and I will duplicate, right click this sprite and duplicate. Once you've duplicated it, you can click convert to bitmap and you see this button here. You click it and you select it. You drag and click and drag. And once you've done that, you see this button right here. You can just move this left or right or whatever and you can move the sprite. So let me make my sprite first. So once you've done that, you can take this button here, line, change the fill to whatever color you want, change the size to whatever color you want, and then draw here. And voila, you have your sprite. You can't really see the white line because the background is white, but yeah, we'll get to that soon. So if you don't want to use the sprite from the sprite library, you can go open a new Google tab and search Apple sprites. Once you search that, click enter and go to images. So in images, you can find any image of an apple that you like and you want to use. So let's say I want to use this. I right click it, save image as, I save it to desktop, and I save it as apple. Once you've done that, if your picture has a background, you can go to this website called remove.bg. Once you're here, you can upload a picture. Then it will remove the background like that. And then once you've done that, you can click download. It will download. Let's say I just want to override this. Do that. And then once I've done that, I go back to my Scratch. So once you've saved the sprite, you can go to choose a sprite, hover over it, and go to the top and click upload sprite. Once you've done that, it will show you the file. Open it. Now voila, you have your apple sprite. And once you've done that, you can customize it like how I customized my apple here. So once you've customized your sprites, you want to go to code. And under code, these tabs here, you click this button, add extension. Once you've gone to this page, you click video sensing and it will bring you here. You'll see 4 code blocks. These code blocks will be a vital part of the project. So once you've customized your apple and gotten the video sensing extension, you want to click on the apple and go to code. Once you've gone to code, you want to click on events and drag the button when flag clicked. So once you've gotten that, you want to go to looks and take the switch costume to Apple 2 and click on the arrow and click Apple. Once you've done that, you want to go to motion, go to random position. Once you've done that, you want to go to looks and get show. Once you've gotten show, you want to test, and whenever you click it, it goes to a random position. So once you've done that, you want to go to video sensing. When video motion is more than whatever number you want, let's say I put 95, you want it to switch the costume to a different costume, the cut version. So in my case, I'll put switch costume to Apple 2 and change points. You want to go to variable, make a variable and change this variable to, I'll do points. And you have to tick for all sprites. So once you've gotten your variable, you want to go to events. You want to take broadcast message 1. We put it at the side for later. So once you've done that, you take control, you wait 1 second, change it to maybe let's say 5. And once you've done that, you want to go to looks, switch costume to Apple 1 or just Apple, and switch it to hide. Once you hide, you want to put broadcast message 1 and then say go to events again. When I receive message 1, you want to make it show, and once you show, you want it to go to a random position. So once you've done the code, you want to go to backdrops or stage. You want to go to sounds. You want to click on this button here. Actually, don't click on it, just hover it and go click record. Once you've done that, it will show this. You can click record. Shing! You make a sound, you'll record it, and you can just cut it and test Shing! Once you've done that, you can rename it. Let me name it /1. And then once you've done that, you go back to code, go back to the Apple, and go to events and broadcast message 1. You go click the arrow, click new message /1. Once you've done that, click enter and put it under change points by 1. Go back to stage. When I receive message play sound /1 until done. So once you've done the code here, you want to go to stage, backdrops, and you want to duplicate this backdrop by right clicking it. And once you've done that, you want to make your own backdrop. Let's say I want to make a level up backdrop. I want to take green color text. I want to put good job. You finished the first level. Once you've done that, you can drag it here, and then you can take the drawing and you can change it maybe to yellow color and draw lines around this, like celebration. Woohoo! Once you've done that, you can go back to code and you can go to events. When flag click forever, you want to go to control, get forever. You want to also get if then, sorry. And once you've done that, you want to go to operators. You want to go to the more than 50. You want to change it to 80, maybe, up to you. You want to go to variables. You want to take points. Once you've taken points, drag it into there. And once you've done that, you want to go to video sensing, turn video off. To change it, if you want to change it to video on, then you can just click the arrow, but I prefer it off. Once you've done that, go to variables, set my variable, change it to points with the arrow to 0, because I want after a new level it will change the points to 0, so that, yeah. And once you've done that, you want to switch back, go to looks, switch backdrop to backdrop 2. And once you've done that, you want to wait 5 seconds, which is in control. Change the 1 to 5. And once you've done that, you want to broadcast message. Maybe let's make a message next backdrop. Once you've done that, you want to go back to backdrops, duplicate backdrop 1 and put it down there. There you go, backdrop 3. You don't need to customize it because it's just going to be an empty for level 2. Once you've done that, when I receive backdrop, next backdrop, I want to run it forever. And I also want to get the stop off, change it to this script and put it in the previous script and duplicate it for this script. Once you've done that, you want to put forever, turn video on. Here, you can then click the arrow to change it to on. Once you've done that, you want to go to looks, switch backdrop to backdrop 3. And then you want to go to control, if then, and you want to get operators, more than, and then you want to go maybe change it to 120, variables, points, put it in there, go to video sensing, turn video off, switch backdrop to, maybe we should make another backdrop before that. Let's duplicate this. Maybe we should change the backdrop up a bit for winning, you know what I mean? So once you do that, you want to write maybe yay, you won. So once you've done that, you put it in there, maybe make some lines around it to show that we're happy for them for winning. Woohoo! Woohoo! Good job. So once you've done that, you want to go back to code, looks, switch backdrop to backdrop 4 and stop this script. Once you've done that, when I receive next backdrop, you go to events. When I receive next backdrop, forever, send message to hide. Make a new message, hide. Once you've done that, go to control, stop all, change it with the arrow to stop this script. So once you've done that, you want to go to the top of the background code. You want to go to events. When flag click, go to looks, switch backdrop to backdrop 1. So once you've done that, whenever you click it, it'll go to backdrop 1. So once you've done that, you want to hover over choose a sprite, click it, and maybe search for something to make the game harder. Maybe if you cut a mouse, you lose points. So once you've done that, once you've gotten whatever you want, you can go to costumes, you can go to mouse, and you can do what you did for the apple. Maybe it was cut like this. So yeah, it's a bit cruel, but it's for the game. So once you've done that, then you can just go to Apple, go to code, and then drag this. These will turn blue when you drag it over here, and drag it on top of the rat or mouse. Same thing for all the code in the Apple. Once you've done that, you can go to mouse and see it is all here. Once you've done that, you can drag them down, change this costume to mouse A, change this to mouse B, change this to mouse A, and then you're done. Then you can test it out, and once you've done that, you've got your own Fruit Ninja game. That was hard work. I hope you can have fun like I did. Till next time, bye!
Hi guys, Fairuz here, and today I'm going to teach you how to publish a video into YouTube by using Vimeo website that I published. So I published this video because I joined this event called Virtual Sarawak Children's Festival that is held by Pustaka Negeri Sarawak. So since I'm talking about it, I want you guys to be sure to like, follow and share Pustaka channel at Facebook and YouTube. Anyway, let's take a tour. This is their channel, so as I just say just now, be sure to like, follow and share Pustaka channel at Facebook or YouTube. So let's get started. First, go to Google search or your new tab and type Chrome Web Store in case you don't have Chrome. In case you don't have it. There. And found the results. Click here to go in the web store. So this is the web store. It is kind of like Google Play, but from the store it has extension and themes. So you could see so many themes from here and so many extensions that will help you out in Chrome. So go to the main menu and click search the store, and then at search the store type Vimeo Record. Once you found the results, click it and click here. Make sure it's this one. And then click add to Chrome. I think it's this button, add to Chrome, but since I already installed it, we skip the installation part. So once you want to start recording, just click this puzzle icon. This is the extension icon. Then click the extension we were installed just now. It's Vimeo Record Screen and Webcam Recorder. Click it, but since I already record here, I just want to say how you record it. First, choose what option do you want to use for recording, such as screen recording, camera, or both, just like how I use this now. Here, see? I'm using both now. So after recording, go to the website. But if you just new on Vimeo, you can search Google the website. It's vimeo.com. You could click this result or this result. I'm just gonna click this result. And then once you found here, this one, Vimeo works all-in-one video solution. Click it. And once you found the video that you wanted to record just now, I'm just gonna choose this video to go into YouTube. This is just an example. So once you found the video that you want to record, click here, publish to social. Then once you click it, you will see it asks you to write the title, description, the text, and privacy, and also category. So if you don't want to write the title, it's okay. Just click next above here, and it will say it will publish to YouTube, which may notify your followers. It will remain private on Vimeo, so we don't see the video in Vimeo again, but we'll see the video on YouTube. So click publish, and your video is already in YouTube but not posted yet. It will still remain private because we don't even edit anything. So you can go to your channel and click manage videos, or in a simple way, go to YouTube app and then click your videos at the main menu. Now you're in YouTube Creator Studio on channel content. Here's the new recording. Click it, and you could write the title as now you can edit the title, the description, thumbnail, and lots more. So now after editing everything for the video details, click save at top to post it into YouTube. Now your video is finally on YouTube. But if you want to have more fun, I really create this quiz from it's a role type quiz. So I'm gonna make a tour on this quiz so you can answer it. What does step 1 ask you to do first? Ask you to install the Vimeo extension. First, you install the Vimeo extension. What is it? It asks you to just start recording. Yeah, it asks you to just start recording if you want to. What does step 3 ask you to do too? It asks you to go to the website and embed the recording into YouTube. What is step 4 about? It's about the step to publish a video into YouTube. Easy! What does step 5 ask you to do? It asks you to... Wait, I forgot! It asks you to post a video. What does step 6 ask you to do? It asks you to post the video into YouTube. And that's the question. 6th question. You're 2 on the leaderboard. So that's only the answer for this quiz that I made. So the quiz link will be given in the YouTube description below. I will give you this video is published into YouTube. Well, thank you for joining us in Virtual Sarawak Children's Festival. As I say, be sure to like, follow, and share Pustaka channel at Facebook and YouTube. And also, don't forget to subscribe into my channel too, if you really do subscribe. Pustaka's channel at Facebook and YouTube. So that's all from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video from the beginning to the end. That's all from me. Bye!